This is Ryan Elliott for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. We're at Wasserman HQ with me, Josh Kelly. Josh, a bit far from Sunderland, but here we are. Exciting times for you. How are you?
I'm good, mate. Good, mate. Missing Sunderland, but apart from that, I'm well, bro. Well.
That's good to hear. Now, look, we've been waiting to hear when you'd be coming back. We know you'd signed with Wasserman, here now on terrestrial TV and Channel 5. Why Wasserman? What was it that appealed to you?
Obviously, Eddie offered us the 5 fights. Wasserman offered us similar contract, 5 fights, and it just made sense to go with these. It was a better deal on the table, so I went with Wasserman. I like Kala, I like Nisra. I think they're good guys, and obviously Channel 5's huge, so I'm ready to make some noise.
Since the Avanesyan fight, we know you've been away and you've spoken in the media about dealing with personal issues in the background. A bad time for a lot of fighters, but do you think you almost needed the reset?
Yeah, a million percent. So I'm only just turned 28, so I'm still fresh. I haven't had a tough, long, hard career. I pride myself on trying not to get hit too much, so I can save myself a little bit. And I haven't been in them dog fights yet, so I'd like a couple of them. So yeah, and I think the break was much needed, mate. Get me personal issues sorted, and then come back and I'm a different character compared to what I was before.
No fighter likes to lose. In terms of you after the Avanesyan fight, I know you didn't want to postpone it at all. You went ahead with that fight when maybe things weren't 100% in the background. How hard was it to process afterwards, and how quick had you moved on mentally, ready to get back?
It wasn't necessarily processing the loss, because obviously that just hurt pride-wise. That's what that did. The loss was down to a number of things, like I said. On the night David beat us, but outside of personal life, I could have dealt with things a lot better. So just learn to structure myself as a person, and listen, the cracks of life are bigger and more, and can affect you more than the actual stuff in boxing. Cracks outside of boxing and cracks in life affect you a lot more. Affect boxers a lot more, and that's what I've learned to deal with. So I'm in a good place.
From turning professional, you've very much been in the public eye. You've been in scrutiny from your very first fight. When you have people, writing you off after one loss and doubting you and your ability, do you completely ignore it? Do you use it as fuel? How do you deal with that?
I don't really. Do you know what it is? The career is all said and done when you retire. That's what it is. And the best old school fighters have lost and come back and beat people and come back and da. At the end of the day, it's boxing, and it's if your favourite football team loses, you don't stop supporting them. Do you know what I mean? So I don't really listen to it. It's my career, it's my journey. I listen. I value certain people's opinion. I listen to that, and that's what I base my views on.
Speaking of football, all being well on May 13th, and you're back to winning ways. Are you going to be on the Calla and Nisa telling them to bring a show up to the North East? We know what the fans are like up there.
100%, mate. Listen, a Stadium of Light fight wouldn't go amiss. I think the Sunderland fans, as well as myself, hopefully we get promoted this season, and then I want to be able to put someone on. I want to be able to. I've got a lot of fans up there. I'm a loyal Sunderland supporter. I catch them on as much as I can, but it's a lot of my friends up there are saying you're always in London, and obviously I've got a lot of fans down London now, a lot of friends down London, but they're you're always in London, when you're going to come back up the North? No, shouting for stadium. I'm mate, there needs to be a big fight for a stadium fight, so let's try and make one.
One fight that's always kind of been mentioned for you that I wanted to ask you about is the Ritson fight. Obviously you'd have to come back down to 147, he would have to move up, but you and I know what the rivalry is like up there. Newcastle v Sunderland, a massive domestic fight. Is that something you're interested in?
Mate, that's huge, 100%. 100%. If he's willing to go to 147, I'll come down. Then that fight sells out St James's and Stadium of twice. Do you know what I mean? That's how big the support is. That's how mad the rivalry is up there. That's how loyal the supporters are as well. So obviously I'm red and white, he's black and white. So of course it's that fight what can happen.
That would sell well both sides of the North East. Would you be willing to go into the Lions Den for that? Would you go to Newcastle for a fight like that?
Well, a little away day. We haven't had a derby in a while, have we? Do you know what I mean? Can happen, bro, can happen.
In terms of yourself then, Callum spoke very highly of you. He says he's no doubt that you're going to go on and be in these world title fights and be a world champion. Does that remain the ultimate goal? You wouldn't be here if you didn't believe you could still be world champion?
1,000,000%. I've reached the pinnacle of amateurs where I've boxed. I only got beat by the eventual gold medalist in the Olympics. So, and in every amateur tournament I ever went in, I've either won a medal or been beat by the eventual gold medalist. So it's one of them where I've only competed against the best. So if I can do that as an amateur, I feel as though I should be able to do that as a pro. I mean, I know it's a different game, but listen, it's boxing at the end of the day. So I feel like I can definitely move forward and do it as a pro.
I want to ask you as well about fighting on Channel 5. You know, Channel 5 have shown a commitment to boxing over the years, a massive audience that, you know, can only really be reached on terrestrial television. There could be more than 1 million people watch you in your next fight. Can only be beneficial for your profile going forward.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Channel 5 as a whole is just like so easy to access. Everyone can access it from anywhere. It's free view. You don't have to log in, get this and that and whatever sorted. And it's a huge chance to get a lot of eyes on your sport and on your boxing and all the lads on the show. So, mate, it's going to be a night to enjoy. I can't wait.
One other person I wanted to ask you about, you know, the Wasserman guys have always shown a willingness to work with other promoters on other fights. Conor Benn called for a fight with you for a long time. Do you believe that fight will happen one day?
Why, I can't see why not. 147 or 154. I think we will cross paths 100%. Listen, like I said, I'm here to make big fights happen, so it's definitely a name we're definitely going across in the future.
All right, Josh, good luck with the comeback fight, if that's what you want to call it. I'm sure I'll catch you very soon, and thank you so much for speaking to Boxing Social.